Okay, so I see this was trending online all week. They talking about the Wendy Williams interview.
That wasn't trending.
It was the Wendy Williams interview for the Breakfast Club.
Yeah,
it was trending online all week. It's gonna actually get us some views.
Okay.
So it's talking about the interview with her and Charlamagne. Everybody know her and Charlamagne from like way back in the day when Charlamagne used to be on the morning show with Wendy Williams. That's where he started, where he worked for free. Where he was in New York. Well, was he living in New Jersey? He was living in one of her places in New Jersey. Her and her husband put him up, but like now, Wendy Williams. They're trying to say that Wendy Williams is not. She's like in a prison with her caregiver, the person that's like. I guess it's her caregiver. What's that called? Guardianship. Yeah, the lady that's like over her estate. I don't know how they choose these people. I need to become more familiar with that type of law because I don't know how these laws are chosen. I don't know how they get people to actually be your caregiver. But the lady is some random lady. In my opinion, I don't know the lady, but it's just some random white woman that I don't know how they choose these people.
Okay.
But they're saying that she is like not. They're saying that her freedom is taken. It's like another Britney Spears type of thing. They're saying that she doesn't have what's it called? Alzheimer's. Like she's not suffering from Alzheimer's. She's not suffering from dementia. They're saying that she's not. What's they say she was? She was about. She's like, as far as like, pretty much about to die. I just seen clips. I'm not too familiar. But like, I know she's getting by a wheelchair and everything. Yeah, but I listened to the interview, right? Yeah. And it's a great interview. It was really good. Like her niece was in the interview because her niece was like speaking for her a lot. Yeah. And her niece is like very eloquent, like her aunt, you know what I'm saying? Like Wendy speaks very well. You know what I'm saying? Wendy is a gossip columnist, but Wendy does speak very, very well. She's very eloquent speaker. I know Wendy used to be jumping around on topics a lot. Like back in the she was jumping around topics in the interview. Yeah. But I'm just saying that a lot of people are gonna be like, well, she was alright, but I had an uncle that had Alzheimer's. Yeah. And they have good days.
Yes.
They have good days and they have bad days.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that she's not going through what the Breakfast Club is saying she's going through. Yeah. But I know a big part of how we feel too is like black people, and we are very.
They're about to come get you. Boy.
Because we're very spiritual with hope. You know what I'm saying? We're people of hope. Like you know what I'm saying? Like we don't like science. You know what I'm saying? And we don't like the idea of like just living under medicine.
And plus, like dealing with some of our trauma, like you always say, we have trauma.
Yeah, we have trauma.
We tend not to believe what everybody's saying. You know?
Yeah. Because our trauma,
tend to question it.
Our trauma keeps us from like that idea of science too.
Yeah,
I feel a lot. I usually like you want to say something. Go ahead and say something.
I'm listening.
Okay, I feel like an idea keeps us away from the idea of like trauma a lot too. Yeah. Where we feel like this person is not going through this because we feel like everything is out to get us. Everything is out. We feel like this is the man. This is these people keeping her down. I do feel like a lot of that is going on too because people are greedy. You know what I'm saying? We live in capitalism, so people do want to own her money. But I'm not saying that. But I won't say that she's not suffering from a lot of this stuff. Because I feel like a lot of stuff she was suffering from, because she didn't sound like she used to sound. She used to sound kind of like off. You know what I'm saying? But that's when she was drinking a lot too. So I think a lot of stuff that she was going through is probably drug induced. You know what I'm saying? Because I know people that have been through treatment, and when I used to talk to them when they were on drugs, they sound crazy. It's like I'm not dealing with the same person. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure like when I was like drinking and doing a lot of stuff that I don't do anymore, I probably used to sound crazy. Go ahead, you were saying something.
No, I think my mother, she has dementia, you know, and so I know firsthand that, you know, people suffering from that illness, you know, Monday they could be great. But on Wednesday and Thursday, they took 3 steps backwards. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, you know, someone just wake up and have that type of control over another person's life. Yeah. There's channels you have to go through to get guardianship or something. You know? And I went through that going through that process with the family member, you know, so courts get involved, probate courts get involved, and they send, investigators out to do interviews to ensure that this person is mentally incompetent and taking care of themselves and making decisions. So, I do think there's always some greed in there.
Oh, always. That's what I was saying. Always some type of greed.
But I think it's probably warranted that someone has to make those decisions.
And a part of the greed it does come from the fact that she is suffering from this. We can say it's a lot more progressive than it already is because it's a progressive disease. Alzheimer's, it's like they don't start off like, I'm this way. It's a progression. And then when I said she was on drugs before, and she it's drug induced too. Like if you're doing drugs, it's gonna make this it's something with the brain. It's gonna make it like. It's gonna actually induce it even. It's gonna make it go even faster. Yeah. But I've noticed that she. Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, sorry if I sound kind of ignorant to what's going on to the audience out there because I really don't know her true diagnosis and everything. But I'm just gonna speak as if she does have Alzheimer's dementia. I dealt with it with my mom. Before my mom passed, my mom had Alzheimer's and dementia as well. Like you said, they have good days. And they have their bad days, but they also, and it affects everybody differently, but they had their bright spots. Like with my mom, the last time I seen my mom did not recognize me. She didn't know who I was, but she knew to ask about my son. My mom always asked about her grandson. Like, how my grandson doing? She didn't, you know what I'm saying? She didn't know who I was, but she always asked about my son, knew his name. She really didn't know his age that much, but when I told her her age, she's like, oh, he's in school, he's going, So, and, watching a parent with that, it's like, you're watching, it's rough because you had that hope. You see their good days, like, oh, they're getting better. Exactly. And then you see the bad days. I went over my mom's house one time, and my mom seemed like she was aggravated. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, oh, your aunts and your uncles in the backyard making noises. They too loud. My aunts and uncles wasn't even over. And she was just aggravated. So it's just like to watch somebody, deteriorate right before your eyes. It's rough. And, it's rough, especially when it's your mom. Especially when it's a parent. And, just watching the ups and downs and everything. We just seen one portion of her doing the interview. I seen people in the comments like, oh, she look like she's fine. She's the same old Wendy and everything. But we just seen one portion, one interview at one time. We're not with her 24/7.
Right. She did another interview today. She did Hollywood Unlocked today too. I didn't get a chance to see that. I just knew that we were going to discuss this on Friday, so I was like, let me listen and watch this interview so I don't sound too ignorant on what's going on with it. But I hope I didn't offend anybody by saying that sometimes I mean I don't care because that's my opinion. I feel like sometimes we do. That's why you're. I feel like sometimes because I feel like sometimes we like to stray away from science a little bit. I feel like a lot of times we do be like, you know what I'm saying, we want to keep everything like super spirit. Like I said something online the other day. I said that I made a comment. I can't remember exactly what I said, and I said Lucifer in my comment because I said Lucifer was an angel, which he was. Right, You know what I'm saying? In the Bible, dude was like, if you talking about Lucifer, I'm like, was about to block me. You know what I'm saying, like when we sound country and stupid, like to me, that sounds idiotic to me. Like to me, because I feel like I'm spiritual enough and educated enough to where I could separate the conversations that we can have. I just feel like when people be doing stuff like that, they be sounding like, well, darling. It sounds like I'm reading about James in this book. It sounds like a bunch of slaves.
But I agree with you, and I do believe in science, but then you have to think about the people that we do have reasons for not to believe in science, like the Tuskegee Airmen, stuff like that in our past. Stuff like that in our past where you have people, like how they was running tests.
It's a good point, but I just don't. I feel like they knew that science was going to affect them that way. I'm evil in science because
so you say evil and science mix.
Yeah, evil and science mix, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying that you cannot disregard all science because of one situation.
But you can't question it sometimes.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't question it, but I feel like a lot of times when we live off our trauma and we live off of oppression and we live off of things that happen to us, it forces us to be stupid or to be ignorant or to not pay attention to like it sound country to me, or I don't mean country, shouldn't say country, it sound real niggerology to me. Like
What is that? That ain't even a word.
it is a word. It's in this book, The Message.
Say that up.
No, it actually is a word in the book where he talks about like these ideas that we get that is just like they don't make sense, but it's just like taught to us because of like instinctively teaching. Just like when I watch a lot of like times it'd be stuff that they have like a lot of podcasters that are like really great podcasters, right? And they're pretty good, and they would be like, they say stuff like, they'll be like, well, how I feel about a situation, and people like, yeah, that's the truth. It's a feeling. It's not really something factual. A feeling can't be fact. Sometimes we make feelings facts, and it ain't facts.
Do you make your feelings fact?
Huh? No, I don't. I make my feelings how I feel. Like, name a feeling that I have that's factual.
I'm just asking a question.
No, I don't. Because I'm saying that.
Like a nerve, man.
Because he wanted to tap dance as soon as we get done with the show. Because he one of them type of Negro. He a Negro, spiritual. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Chris.
Oh, no. I mean, I think to your point, though, sometimes we, as a people, we tend to ignore some of the science because we think we can pray some of the issues away.
Yes, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And some things we just can't pray away. Yeah. You just can't. You got to accept the reality of it.
That's crazy. That's crazy that you said that, because my dad was having issues with something. My sister was telling him, like, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go. Oh, I'll just pray. I just get my prayer closet and pray and read my Bible and everything. You're right.
Let me tell you something. My father's a preacher, right? My father's a preacher. He know my parents really into church. My father's a preacher. 21 years ago, I was having a drinking problem, right? I was drinking a lot. And my mother was like, he just need to go to church. My father said he didn't go to church his whole life. My father gonna say, you don't think God, the person that put all these programs together, where he needs to go talk to somebody, where he needs to go get some help?
And that's what my sister said too. My sister said, she's like, you don't think God gave these doctors and everything knowledge enough to help you so you get past your
Because
problem?
sometimes God put the answers in front of you to see if you still stupid. Like, you know what I'm saying? God, like, let me see if this dude's still stupid. Because don't you think God is the one that created science? Don't you think God is the reason why? God, like, well, if you do this is gonna work for you. You know what I'm saying? You can't pray being fat away. So you got to go to the gym to work out. I mean, God works with science.
I mean, I prayed a couple weeks ago to lose 2 pounds. I lost 2 pounds.
That's because that's crap. Okay, so we do want to thank y'all I want to thank y'all for y'all bad opinions on the topic. I know the comments.
When he start doing this,
I know the comments gonna come and people gonna be like, yeah, he sound like he want to be. Never mind.
They're gonna be there. Hey, they're gonna love me.
Yeah, that's because you agree with the topic. But we're gonna move on to the next topic. Next topic that we talking about, we're gonna come back. We're gonna get to the show topic. We'll be right back.